nice little structure they got here in the middle. Okay. We gotta do some generators or something? Alright, let me knock this one. Oh, hell no. What the hell is that? Oh, let me get over here in the corner by this tree. Let me take it. Oh, hell no. What's that coming out of his mouth? Oh, hell no. Oh, sure you don't see me. Oh, shit, he fast. He fast as hell. He blind. Go this way. Somebody give me attention. Get over there chasing somebody else. With your ugly self. Thank you. Give me up. He coming back. Why are you chasing me? Turn a piece of trash. Get off me. Come on. You slow as hell. Come on, somebody help me. I got a pilot right there. I can't have it. Come on.
I'd imagine being a new player will be something along those lines. But as you can see, this is one of my first games as Blight, so I was still trying to get a little used to his power and when they use it. But I think Blight is. People were saying he's going to be overpowered, but I think now that people are starting to get used to Blight, he's not that bad. Once you realize that all you have to do is just kind of hug tight corners like you see this player doing, then that's kind of what it comes down to, is making sure you know how to play against him. Now, obviously, if you get caught out in the open, just like versus any killer, you're obviously going to be in some deep shit. But that's with any killer. If you get caught out in a position, I think a lot of people fail to understand that sometimes in Dead by Daylight, there are just times where you're just going to get caught out. It's nothing. It's times where you can't do anything to get away from a killer because you don't have a pallet or you don't have a window or just anything to loop with. Nothing to block line of sight, none of that stuff. So it's like sometimes you just got to realize as a survivor that sometimes the best decision to do is just do safe generators away from the killer, especially if you're on your death hook. If you're on your death hook, you should not be going for saves. You should not be doing generators in the middle of the map where you know the killer's been kind of hanging around for long periods of time. If you're on your death hook, you should be playing super immersed. So if you hear a heartbeat, even if it's you know, a passive one that you know the killer's kind of far away. Still get up, walk away, crouch, walk away, hide. At that point, as soon as you go on your death hook, you don't want the killer to even know you exist at that point. Once you get healed up by your teammates, if you can find your teammates, get healed up, and then you just go straight hide mode. Now, obviously, you don't want to be hiding the entire time and not doing anything to help your team, but when you have the killer near you, definitely don't even let him see you. I think a lot of people fail to understand that there are a lot of people who, especially in the red ranks, people think when you get in the red ranks that means that you're good or something like that. When that's not the case, I think people fail to understand Survivor in the red ranks, the only thing that they do differently than Survivor that's on level 20, obviously, I'm talking about lower rank Survivors in general. Obviously, if you're on level 20, you probably don't even know how to play the game barely, but only thing they do differently from lower rank Survivors is do generators more efficiently. As you guys can see right here, I'm down to 1 generator, and it's partly because I put so much pressure on that first player that I wanted to get her out of the game so bad. But in reality, I should have been putting pressure on everyone equally. Those other 3 players were able to just do generators the entire time while I was killing her. But now, as you can see, they're starting to mess up a little bit. They're starting to get a little too altruistic. They're hanging around each other in big clumps, which is why they probably did all the other generators so fast in the first place. But this is what you don't want to do as Survivor. You have 1 generator. Look how many generators I have to defend. I got 1 right here. Another player's behind it. They're really trying to force the hell out of this generator. I got one far over there in the corner behind the hook, and then I got 1 right here. So I got a 2 gen right here, which is fine, but this, you can't even really call this a 3 gen. I guess for Blight you can call it a 3 gen because, you know, his ability to get, you know, close gaps really fast. And right here, I somehow lost. Now, watching this replay, I clearly saw where she went on the replay, but for whatever reason, when I was playing live, I lost her because I'm blind. And once again, she was over there again. But once again, here I am trying to get somebody else who's basically I'm just trying to go for trades at this point because I feel like I feel like the way the generators are set up, they're bound to get one of these generators. So once again, I'm going for a player that, why would you unhook with no borrow time? If he had borrow time right there, he would have just took a hit. I would have probably just end chase. If I had hit him and he had borrow time, I would have just end chase and just try to get somebody else because I know they're doing generators. But because I know he doesn't have decisive strike and none of them are using borrow time, this is a free hook. This is what I don't understand about Survivors and why they, for whatever reason, feel like obligated, or they feel like for whatever reason the killer's supposed to play a certain way. And whether it's not tunneling or not hanging around the hook too closely or whatever the case may be, I don't understand why Survivors just don't play their game and worry about, you know, not worry about the killer. When I'm playing Survivor versus a killer that wants to face cam me, like we all run into that Leatherface that likes to put, after his first hook, I'm talking about 5 generators left, 1 hook, and this man is camping the hook as Leatherface with a chainsaw 1 shot down. We've all run into a Leatherface like that, and obviously I'm not going to do anything like that. Camping to that extent, or just camping in general, I feel like is a little, especially face camping like that with somebody who's that strong, I think is a little bit, you know, a little too much. But as a killer, as a rank 1 red rank killer, you will notice that if you ever get to the red ranks as a killer, the generator done way faster than they would if you were in the lower ranks, because for whatever reason, you have people in the lower ranks that don't do generators. So there are a lot of times where I might get 2 hooks up like near each other, and instead of going for another person, I'm going to sit in between those hooks because it's going to be more beneficial to me to try to force one of them on struggle, or knowing that one of the other 2 survivors have to come and get them off the hook if they want to, you know, not let them both hit struggle. I'm going to play to my advantage there. So all I'm saying right now is if you play killer, don't be afraid to go for these phase. As you guys can see, Infectious Fright really doing damage right now. Like really doing damage. I'm really finding everyone, and this is Blight without any of his add-ons, by the way. I try to get used to characters without add-ons, and then when I feel really comfortable with them, then I'll start using add-ons because I feel like add-ons should be like bonuses. Now right here, this is the bad play. I just downed her, and for whatever reason, this girl really wants to get her up. Steve is dead. It is literally them 2, the only people alive. So if she goes down, at this point, you're looking for the hatch because she's on death hook. And you're hurt. She doesn't have iron will, so you can hear her. So it's just like, why are you even going for the save here? The game is over if I find you. It's simple as that. She does a really good locker play right here, but I still down her anyway, and that's gonna be game over. This is the type of stuff I don't understand. Like, and then we'll get into the lobby, and they'll be mad at me saying that why did I slug? Like, I have players who get mad at me saying that I slugged. Like, that's not a thing. Like, I can't do that. Why am I tunneling? Why are you unhooking survivors right in front of me? When you see me walking back towards the hook to check the hook, why are you unhooking right in front of me with no borrowed time? You know what I'm saying? So as a killer, all I'm gonna let you know is don't fall into those traps of like, oh, I'm not supposed to play a certain way because people are going to be upset with me. If it really bothers you how people are talking to you in lobbies and stuff like this, as you can see right here, I'm getting a little toxic because I had a rough game before this. But don't get caught up in all of that. Play your game. Make sure you definitely want to play to where it's challenging and you don't want to be camping and tunneling or anything like that as much as possible. But when the time arrives where you need to do that in order to make the game easier for you, do it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not the camping, but yeah, that's all I had. I just want to let you guys know, just do you, basically, when you play killer. Just do your thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. JellybeanKilla, stay blessed.